How many times did the Sandman die?
At least twice, maybe 3 times.
When we say die, I mean his heart has stopped. He's clinically dead, and somehow he rises back up from the dead. Sabu told me a story, and one of the times he died, he basically said, "We were in our trailer or wherever we were doing something we shouldn't have been doing, and then all of a sudden, Sandman keels over."
Yeah, I mean, I remember one time he was down at Fonzie's house on New Year's. He and Peaches and Fonzie's then wife, I think it was, and he's calling me up the next day. We even though I was not there, I spoke to these guys almost every day. I mean, it's a very unusual friendship set that we have. That 30 years later, we still talk all the time, like nothing's changed. Um, I think they took him to the hospital then. And most recently, when he stopped drinking, they took him to the hospital because nobody knows the story. He decided to stop drinking on his own. And by the third day, one morning, his kid, someone in to get him, and he was frothing at the mouth. They had to call, they had to call the ambulance in. They brought him to the hospital. And he almost died that time too. And that was the day he said, "That's it." When you see your kid come in and see you ready to die, and you think, "I did that to him. Let him see that. I can never do that again." He's 2 months in so far. He's completely sober.
Also, in the book, you mentioned that you deserve the credits for letting Jim be Jim, because beforehand he was the surfer. You with the surfboard, the whole bit, and then I believe it was you. Well, tell me what you suggested. And I believe Paul didn't think it would work.
Yes. First of all, no one calls him Jim. I don't think I've ever heard anybody call him Jim.
Sorry,
So I was really,
excuse me.
he's been called Hack 5 years old. You ask him why, he says, "I don't know. My brother started calling me that. And ever since then, the whole world's called me Hack." He has no idea why, but that's his name. So he was not getting the surfboard thing was just a disaster. Number one, again, you can't be a good heel or a good babyface coming out in Philadelphia with a surfboard and a wetsuit. It's not going to get over no matter what you do in the ring.
And someone else was already doing that as well, wasn't it? Surfer Ray Odyssey as well.
Very honest. Yeah. And I said, it sucks. I said to Paul, "Why don't we do something different with him? Why don't we let him be who he is? He's a barroom brawler. That's what he is. He's a guy at the end of the bar, pounding away and hoping that nobody's stupid and loudest one in the bar. And if someone says something, sure enough, next thing you know, there's going to be a fight. That's who he is. Let him use that as a persona." He said, "Yeah, it's okay, I can see that." So let him dress the way he normally dresses in blue jeans or whatever, work shirt. I said, "But let them go to the ring smoking." He's smoking. I go, "And drinking." That's what he does. He sits in the bar, smokes and drinks. He goes, "Nah, they can't do that." "Why can't you do that?" He goes, "Well, you can't do that." I go, "Again, why can't you do that?" And I learned one thing from Eddie Gilbert. He said to me, he taught me that you can do anything in wrestling. We were doing a match where someone's top is going to get ripped off. And I said, "I don't want to do that because those are always bait and switches." And I hated that when I used to watch wrestling. You know the girl's top's not coming off. Someone's going to cover up over the top. He said, "Let's do it." I go, "You can't do that." He said to me, "You can do anything in wrestling." And we did it. We're still existing. The commissioner came down hard on me the first, and I just acted as though I knew nothing about it. Like, I didn't know it was going to happen. It was an accident. I'm a suit and tie guy. You should know better than that. The commissioner, all right. Let it go. But we did it. So why can't we let him smoke and drink? So we did it. We let him go out like that. Instant success. And there was credit. Paul did something that had never been done before. He took that, and during every segment we had with him in the back of the interviews, Sandman was always in black and white. The rest of the show was in color. Brilliant. Made him stand out from the show. Why is it black and white? Now you're paying attention. It was to see Sandman. And back then he was with a woman as his manager. And when he would smoke that cigarette and blow that smoke through the black and white, that smoke coming at you, look, it was a mesmerizing effect. Soon, years later, NWO did the same thing. It was hardly the first time we had done something first. They got emulated or redone, and they did it great too, obviously. But it was different because they had so many people involved in it. It wasn't the same as just a one guy sitting there smoking with his cane and his beer and his cigarette. It was like mesmerizing. And plus, he was good enough at what he did to get the gimmick strong. I mean, the last couple of years of the cruise, when I was there, he never won a match. He didn't want to win a match. He said, let's get this guy over. I'm already over. I can lose and lay there and have somebody pour beer in my mouth and do the Undertaker sit up, and I'm back. I got my heat back. And it was great. And he realized, he mean Dreamer, I don't think either one of them won a match for like almost 2 straight years. But you would never realize that watching it. You'd actually look back and go, oh, how about that? They really didn't. Because they were generous and they were smart. Once they were over, they knew it was about getting other people over. Instead of being selfish, they always wanted to be the top guy.
Following on from that, ECW innovations that you and or Paul just don't get credit for, that obviously maybe the big two, WWF and WCW at the time, did get credit for, that maybe rankles somewhat?
Nah, at this point, I don't think so. I mean, the three-way dance, nobody now it's as commonplace as having 5 men in the ring, 3 men, every man for himself. There's scramble. There's never more than 2 people in the ring before.
Jim Cornette disputes that. He thinks that maybe he invented the triple threat or 3-way dance, or maybe he thinks someone before both of you did. But I don't
know who he would have done it with. But I think when we did it with Shane and Funk and Sabu, I'm pretty sure that was the first time it ever been done. That was the night the line was crossed, because that was the night we knew. We got back to that hotel, there was hundreds and hundreds of people outside the hotel doors and in the lobbies, in the bar there. We couldn't get in. They started going, thank you, Todd. Thank you, Paul. Then we're going, what the hell? You must be used to that. You've been in the big time before. Because Todd, I've never seen it before in my life. We got something here. We got lightning in a bottle here. We said figure out what to do with it.